Have you ever wondered what's really going on inside a successful company? Behind the shiny product launches and the polished press releases? Well, there's this entire inner world, and it's what really dictates every single move a company makes. Today, we're going to peek behind that curtain and uncover the secrets of internal strategy. So, let's start with the big question. What even is strategy? Is it just that one lightning-in-a-bottle idea from a genius founder? Or is it something way more complex, like a constant dance of different forces? That's exactly what we're going to unpack.
All right, let's dive right in. First, we need to map out the territory we're exploring, and that's the company's internal environment.
So, here's the textbook definition. The internal environment is basically everything happening inside the walls of a company that shapes how it acts and what it can do. You can think of it like the organization's unique personality, its DNA, its entire nervous system. It's the foundation that any real strategy has to be built on.
And this inner world is, wow, it is a dynamic place. You've got the formal stuff, right, like company policies and official objectives, but then you have all the human elements, the company culture, the influence of trade unions, and yeah, even internal conflicts. These are all the gears and levers that leaders have to work with every single day.
Now here's the thing, that internal world isn't static. It's not sitting still. It's constantly being reshaped by some really powerful modern trends.
I mean, just look at diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is so much more than a buzzword. It's a massive internal force. We are talking about a global market that's projected to be worth over $15 billion. Companies are investing huge amounts of money here, making DEI a core part of their internal culture and their strategy. And then, of course, there's the gigantic shift in where we actually do our jobs. Check out this chart. Hybrid work isn't just some passing trend from the pandemic. It is becoming the new normal, with projections hitting 81% adoption. A change like that fundamentally rewires a company's internal environment, touching everything from culture to how people collaborate.
Technology is another game changer, and this quote from HR specialist Sahana Rao just hits the nail on the head. As AI starts to flood into areas like HR, success isn't really about having the fanciest tech. It's about communication, it's about transparency, things that directly build or break employee trust. And trust is maybe the most crucial internal dynamic there is.
Okay, so you've got all this stuff swirling around inside the organization. You've got culture, DEI initiatives, hybrid work, new AI tools, unions. How on earth does a leader take all of that and forge a single, coherent strategy? Is it just about picking the best path and then sticking to it no matter what?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. Turns out, the secret isn't about picking one single path at all. It's about mastering what you could call a great balancing act and moving beyond that simplistic either-or kind of thinking.
This quote from some leading researchers points out a huge flaw in how we've traditionally thought about this stuff. For years, we've looked at these strategic challenges as an either-or choice. You do this, or you do that. But that's the wrong way to see it. The real magic happens when you shift to a both-and mindset. So here's the secret sauce. Effective internal strategy isn't a one-time decision you make. It's the ongoing, dynamic process of managing these competing, contradictory forces. It is not about choosing. It's about balancing.
So, let's break this down with a real example. Here's the first major tension that pretty much every organization has to deal with: the constant tug-of-war between fit and flexibility.
So, on one side you have fit. Think of this as alignment, consistency. It's making sure every single process, every team, every goal is perfectly in sync with the company's grand plan. It creates incredible efficiency. But on the other side, you've got flexibility. And that's the ability to pivot, to react, when the market throws you a massive curveball. That's all about survival.
So what do the best companies do? They don't pick a side. They build systems that are somehow both aligned and agile. They have the efficiency that comes from fit for the stable, day-to-day work, but they also have those flexibility muscles ready to go when things get chaotic. You absolutely need both to win.
All right, let's look at our second big tension. And this one gets right to the very heart of how you manage people. Is it better to inspire their commitment or to enforce control?
For a long time, this was presented as a really stark choice. Do you go with a commitment strategy where you focus on empowering people and getting their buy-in to boost productivity? Or do you go for a control strategy, focusing on strict rules and close supervision to make sure everyone's following the plan?
And for a while, the commitment approach was seen as the obviously better, more enlightened choice. I mean, it just sounds nicer, right?
But here's the big twist. That old view is changing because recent research has found something surprising. The absolute top-performing companies, they're not the ones who pick one or the other. They're the ones who masterfully blend both commitment and control.
So, let's bring this all home. The big takeaway from all of this research is that you have to start seeing strategy as a continuous balancing act. It's about getting out of that either-or trap. The real genius is in embracing the complexity and learning to manage these both-and tensions.
And that leaves us with one final thought, and this one's for you. If great strategy is all about balancing these opposing forces, take a second and think about your own workplace. What are the big tensions, the both-and challenges that your organization is trying to navigate right now? Because the answer to that question, well, that gets you right to the heart of its inner world.